To Georgia State, touchdowns and home runs, slam dunks and long run. Athletes and sports junkie. If you got the knowledge, come get you some. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Sound mad, get your team lost. Jerry Jones, cause I'm the ball. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Crush, Jack, yeah, black on.
Woo, it's that time. It's time for the dopest sports show on radio to invade your airwaves. It's The Crush. Streaming live on the Sensation Station Network and broadcasting on WBLZSports.com. I am your humble co-host, E. Glaze. And with me as always, it's that guy, Maceo Hurry. What's happening, Maceo?
Hey, man, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man. Another great day. We got back-to-back days of sunshine.
Hey, man, yes.
So we can cut our grass now?
I cut mine today. Cut mine today thick.
Yeah, it was thick, man.
Very thick.
Thick out there. We got a great show for you guys today. We're going to introduce you to, introduction to the tennis fans in Atlanta. We're going to bring him to him. Mr. Eddie Gonzalez, tournament director of the BB&T Atlanta Open. He's going to come on and we got that great event July 22nd through the 30th. We're going to talk about it and all the great things.
He got some names. He got some names down there, and they giving away some money down there, too.
Yeah, purse get bigger down there.
Boy.
Pick the wrong sport. I swear.
Man, I used to be so good. My backhand was so mean. I just couldn't serve. That's
my backhand.
Eliminate me from that.
My backhand looked like I was trying to go over the fence every time. I couldn't do nothing with it.
Oh, nah. You. Okay, you.
My forehead was strong. My forehead was strong.
Nah, I couldn't serve. I couldn't serve at all. With my backhand?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, man. I was mean with that backhand.
Also introduce you to a guy, man. I've been calling him Thomas for the last 20 minutes. But
because you know his brother?
Yeah. Thomas keeps popping up. So, no, it's Terrence.
Because you know his brother?
Yeah, we're going to talk to Terrence as well, man. He's in a business that a lot of people, don't like to do. But somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
He do it well. Yeah, his bow tie. I don't know how I feel about that.
That boy clean. That boy clean.
I come in with my polo, he got on the bow tie, so we're going to let that ride, man.
And it was so crazy. I started to really dress up today, too.
What happened? Nah. You didn't pull out the turd in the tie, man?
Nah.
Man, come on, man. Hey, man, we have a great show we're going to talk about. We got that's what I'm talking about today, too. We actually got some great stories. I actually found a lot today, mate, so I'm happy.
Oh, I found a lot, too, man. We could have really did 3 segments of that.
Usually when we try to find good stories out there in the sports world, it takes a while. It didn't take that long today. We also going to talk some NBA, man. And I'm going to bring up a topic today that's going to really get up under Maceo Hurry Jr.'s skin today.
I doubt it. How you going to get up under my skin?
Because it's one particular subject that you really, really know well. And it really gets you fired up every time we talk about it.
Oh, man. You trying to take me there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it. I want to bring it up, and I want to see your reaction when I bring it up later on in the show. So, hey, man, the Crush Intro is brought to you by Hard Work Apparel. Hard Work Apparel was designed to unlock the psychological elements of drive, desire, and determination. That's that 3D effect, which is necessary to push the body and mind to its optimal level of performance. Once you wear Hard Work Apparel, you'll subliminally feel obligated to work at a high level. Please visit www.hardwork.com for more information. And what's the motto, Maceo?
Hey, man, hard work ain't easy, man.
Hard work ain't easy.
Just like I found out in the pool today. That boot count was, Lord have mercy.
Work today.
Yes, man. After we had to run 2 miles. And then we jumped in the pool.
That's a lot of work.
I would have rather kept running if I'd known the pool work was going to be like that.
So he made you run 2 miles thinking everything going to be good then.
What?
Did y'all run to the pool?
No, we parked at the pool. Then we ran past the pool only to get back in the pool. Yeah.
I don't know if you helping Coach Crazy or making people run from him.
My shoulders hurt so bad right now.
Hey, man, we come back, man. We're going to talk to Eddie, man. So stay with us, Mr. Crush.
You know you're listening to the dopest show on the airwaves, right?
You're my boy!
It's the Crush.
On SSNATL.com.
Thank you, sir. Major key alert. Life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
Your health is at stake. Diabetes, gout, high blood pressure, inflammation, and joint pain, even weight loss. It's time to end your battle. The Abundant Life Movement is dedicated to the building of generational health by transforming your water, water with the power of alkaline to improve hydration and fight against acidic and unhealthy conditions in the body. Here's a testimonial from Linda Rogers Brown and Pamela McMillan.
2011, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had no pain and no symptoms associated with that illness. It's a silent killer. I was introduced to Extreme X2O alkaline water, and within 2 days of drinking it, I was off all my pain medicine, and now we're 6 years strong, no chemo, no radiation, no cancer.
I am a 3-time cancer survivor. I was born with thyroid cancer. By being on the alkaline products allowed me to be able to cope currently with colon cancer. Now I'm able to function and be more mobile within 3 days of being on the product.
Extreme X2O, when the water you're drinking is damaging your health. Extreme X2O. For more info, AbundantLifeMovement.com or call 910-527-2260.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Station Network. Radio 2 Atlanta.
An interview brought to you by Oracy Software. The Oracy team is committed to providing full life cycle support for developing, testing, and delivering market-driven products. Oracy's motto is when a customer engages one of us, they engage all of us. Go to Oracy.com for more information. Maceo, please introduce our guest.
Well, man, we've heard him. Mr. Eddie Gonzalez. He's the executive director of the BB&T Open. So if you're ever going down 75, 85 North, and you wonder what be going on in July over at Atlantic Station, that's what's going on in the tennis tournament. What's going on, Brother Eddie?
That's where the players play.
That's where the players play. That's right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Man,
glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Yeah, we're just glad that we got the AM and PM together, so we make sure we get that straightened out. Eddie, you've been doing this since 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
It started in 13, but first tournament was 14.
14 was the first tournament. What have you seen been the difference in those years since you've taken over? Because you have some big names and things of that nature. What has been some of the things that you've seen since you've taken over?
I would say the biggest change is that we've made it more than a tennis tournament. And our vision has always been to be that mini U.S. Open. What makes the U.S. Open great is New York City, night matches, people watching, restaurants, shops, and Atlantic Station gives us all that. You know, as Maceo said, you drive by Atlantic Station. I mean, we started our build yesterday, so if you're driving by, you're going to see the stadium going up, and we're really proud of the fact when you're sitting in the stadium, you would have no idea that it's a temporary stadium. We got a great partner, but you know, E, to answer your question, we're very proud of the fact that it's more than tennis. I mean, we got the restaurants, we got the beautiful people, we got the shops, we got college night, we got fireworks, we got music, so a lot of stuff going on in addition to world-class tennis.
Right. Now, the idea to put that right in the heart of the city, I mean, that has to be the appeal for the draw to get there.
You know, we're also proud of the fact we feel like we have the best view of any professional tennis tournament in the world. Definitely. I mean, most tennis tournaments rely on people going to the tennis center. We actually build this tennis tournament in the middle of a parking lot at Atlantic Station, and our Midtown skyline views are awesome.
Very pretty.
And so you know, all that is keeping that mojo going.
So one of the things that you are doing is, I remember last year, I want to make sure, I think McEnroe played in I call it the exhibition game. Yeah. This year you have Venus.
Right.
Versus
Serena can't come. She's a little
she got stuff going on right now.
So you got Venus versus Jeannie.
right?
Bouchard from Canada's #1 player. To get that type, I mean, that's got to be a big deal to get those together.
We're really excited about that, and as I said earlier, we want to be that mini U.S. Open. And what the U.S. Open has had until this year for us is men and women. And so now, even though it's an exhibition, this is our chance to bring women here, doing it on our first Sunday night, and having a former U.S. Open champion in Venus, and having Jeannie, who has made probably just as much noise and attention off the court as she has on. I mean, she got to the finals of Wimbledon in 2014, but earlier this year she was in that SI swimsuit issue in March. I mean, because she's a beautiful young lady. She's very, very proud of that, and so we couldn't have asked for a better matchup. And that session's already sold out. So that Sunday night's going to be a lot of fun. And Venus is, you've made it in sports when all you got to do is say your first name.
Right.
You don't have to be a tennis player and you know who Venus is. It'd be like saying LeBron. Or Ronaldo or one of you two, who's a Bono. So Sting. So.
But just use the first name. That usually means you're there.
So Venus has made it, and having them on that Sunday night really gets us off to a great start.
Right.
One of the things I was really impressed with last year, just the level of competition, the names that were actually there. I was like, okay, like this not no little bitty tournament. Like with some big names here.
So Atlanta is the #1 tennis city in the world. I mean, so there's more people in Metro Atlanta that share that passion for tennis, and a lot of that has to do because of ALTA and USGA. So many people play league tennis, and whether it's in your neighborhood or your apartment complex or condo, you need a couple courts to play league play. And so the tennis community knows a lot of these names. The casual fan maybe in years past hasn't, but it really started with John Isner, who's been the highest ranked American for about the last 6 years. Won our tournament 3 years in a row, went to University of Georgia, so we got that Bulldog connection, and Bulldog Nation likes to come out and watch him play. Well, his 10 years our champion ended last year when Nick Kyrgios beat him.
Thank you for saying that. I'm trying to say his name.
And Nick,
very good match. Very good final
So Nick
match.
Kyrgios beat him 7-6, 7-6 in the finals. And the casual fan is starting to know who Nick is because he's the modern day version of John McEnroe. He's a fiery, edgy personality. He wears his emotions on his sleeves, where most of the pro tennis players, they're all phenomenal athletes, but they all keep their emotions in check. And really, it's sports is good when people lets people know they're human. And so he's had a couple outbursts. He had a big outburst this March. Playing him in Miami in the semifinals, he lost 7-6 in the third set to Roger Federer, and he cracked his racket after the match. And you don't see that anymore. But what it told me was that he really thought he should have won the match, where there's probably only about 5 guys in the world that when they're going up against Roger Federer, they actually think they got a chance to win.
Right.
And so he won our tournament last year. Really excited to have him back. And they love Atlantic Station. They stayed there at the 12 Hotel. His mom, who came all the way from Australia with him, was going to the Publix there at Atlantic Station every day, making them home-cooked meals. And so we love the fact that we've got all the conveniences right there, got the covered parking, and so all those things have helped us continue to make it bigger and better every year.
Eddie, when we come back, I want to talk about something as far as the changing of the sport, because tennis, you would think used to be guys 6'1", 6'2", but last year me and Mason was talking about, we saw Isner's versus, I can't think of the guy's name, he's 6'11", but the tallest tennis tournament I ever seen, and 2 guys play.
And then Eubank ain't short either.
He's 6'7". We're gonna talk about Chris as well.
Yeah, great.
To see the height in these guys, we're gonna talk about that because tennis used to be, you think everybody was at the same height, but now basketball players out there. So we're gonna talk about that when we come back. Stay with us, Sister Chris.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression.
My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill,
it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community
a second chance too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity.
So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, it's your girl Brenna B. I want to tell you about something pretty amazing. My friends over at Buckhead Laser Lipo have an option for you. You want to lose those inches? You want to get in shape? Spring is here. Summer is upon us. We have a way for you to lose those inches quickly. Immediately see results. $99 is your first treatment. No surgery, no pain, no downtime, just inch loss. Who doesn't want to be in shape for the summer? Buckhead Laser Lipo, 678-871-0097.
BuckheadLaserLipo.com.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Killer Mike, Killer Kill from the Ville. You're checking me out right now on the Sensation Station Network. Make sure you tune in, suckers.
Hey, we're back. We're still doing our crushing interview right now with Eddie Gonzalez of the BB&T Atlanta Open. And now, before we left, I was talking about the size, and it was Pelka you told me about, who was 6'11", who's now 7 foot. And I was just looking at the height of tennis players today. You know, when we was growing up, Mace, I think Lindell or some of those guys might have been 6'3", 6'4". But now we talk 6'11". Chris Eubanks, who's, you know, from Atlanta, from Westlake
High School.
He's 6'7". So I'm looking at this, and is the tennis changing? And what does this bring to the sport with these taller players these days?
So going back to 2013, when John Isner won the tournament, he beat Kevin Anderson in the finals. Kevin Anderson was 6'8", John Isner 6'10". That was the tallest final in the history of the ATP Tour.
Wow.
Then last year, our defending champ, three-time champ John Isner in the semifinals is playing Riley Opelka. Now, Riley Opelka is somebody maybe your listeners aren't familiar with, and your audience out there. He won the Wimbledon Juniors 2 years ago. He's an American, so he's won a major as a junior, and now he's trying to make the transition to the pro game. So John Isner at 6'10" was looking up to Riley Opelka at 6'11", and he's grown since then. Like you said, he's now 7 foot, and he'll be back this year. So we're excited to have him back here. And it's the serve is the most important shot in tennis because you're doing it 50% of the time. So the next important shot is the return serve.
Yeah.
And so if you got a great serve and a great return, you're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
And so John and Riley have monster serves, big cannon serves. Chris Eubanks, 6'7". One of the biggest parts of his game is his first serve, and his second serve is getting bigger. And so that's a big advantage for these big servers. Nick Kyrgios, our defending champ, 6'6".
Yeah.
So he's serving at 130, 135 miles an hour. You know, people say the toughest thing to do in sports is hit a fastball, you know, because it's coming in 90, 95, 100 miles an hour. But think about trying to return a serve 130 miles an hour. Not only do you have to get it over a net, you got to get it inside lines.
Right.
Where in baseball, if you hit that fastball 400 feet, that's good.
Yeah.
Or if you lay that little bunt down, that's good too. You get so
Yeah.
two good things happen: hitting it short or hitting it long. Where in tennis, it's you got to hit it over and then in the line. So it's a tough sport. It's very tough.
And I think that's what shocked me last year again watching, because we were positioned like behind the players. So like I say, you hear, you watch Wimbledon, you see like the serve was 130, but to see it, and I'm like, how they return like the skill that you have to return that.
Another great thing about our venue is the worst seat at our venue is 12 rows from the court.
Right.
So you get
You
to
are
be
really
up,
on top
so
of
our,
it. Yeah.
our worst seat at $39. You're like at a Hawks courtside box. you
Right,
know?
right.
And so, so to be 12 rows and to see the speed of the serve and the footwork and the hands, tennis, you need that aerobic and that anaerobic because you got to be quick, but you need that endurance too because you can be
Right.
out there playing in 90 degrees at 2
For
o'clock.
2 hours.
And then, you got to come back, and so you need that aerobic and anaerobic workout. So I'm glad you had a great time coming down there because we're really proud to be able to showcase these world-class athletes up close and personal.
How has the city of Atlanta accepted? I mean, it looks awesome to us. We had a great time, but how has the city overall accepted this tournament? Looks like it's doing well, but from what you're seeing, how is the city accepting the tournament?
The city of Atlanta itself has been great. Mayor Reed is a sports fan, and he comes out. He's been out the last 2, maybe the 3 years for our final. So he comes out, and the city's been great. So the city wants our tournament in the city of Atlanta. I don't think they have any interest in us moving out of the city or out into the suburbs because there was a lot of controversy with that Braves move, and we don't want to move. We love being in the heart, as we said. Those Midtown skyline views are awesome, and it's working. So our attendance continues to grow, our corporate partners continues to grow, and we don't want to mess with that recipe.
Because I tell you, with all the Lexus that were parked right outside of the
12.
Look, we sitting there like, hey, can we get a ride?
Yeah, can we take that one down?
Yeah, can we take that one? I want the 470. Let me get the 470 going down. Yeah.
They're a great partner, and if somebody owns a Lexus, they get to park for free. So that's a nice perk for being a Lexus owner at the BB&T Atlanta Open.
I might go rent one. I'm just gonna park it right here.
Park it, please.
You talked about college night, and one of the guys that we've been able to talk about and follow is Chris Eubanks. He's he went to Westlake High School in Atlanta, and now he's at Georgia Tech. He won his first professional at the Wake Forest Invitational. Having Chris there and having him being a part of the city and his school right down the street, how has that been for the last few years? He did it last year, now he's hosting this year.
So professional sports has such an impact on our youth, and again, whether it's Freddie Freeman or Matt Ryan or whomever, and so we want our youth to come to our BB&T Atlanta Open and dream big.
Right.
And that's whether their dream is to play high school tennis, college tennis, or heaven forbid they can play in our BB&T Atlanta Open one day. So we created, when I started, a college night. And we did it because tennis is unique that I have the ability to give a wild card to a kid like Chris, and he gets to play at night for real as our feature match on Tuesday night, July 25th.
Very cool.
Unlike Georgia Tech's football team or Georgia's football or basketball team, they could never play against the Hawks or the Falcons for real.
Right.
Maybe an exhibition.
Right.
But Chris Eubanks is going to get to play for real. So last year was University of Georgia's turn. Right. So Austin Smith, a local Atlanta kid, and so working with the Manny Diaz, the Georgia coach, and Kenny Thorne, the Georgia Tech coach, has said, I want to help your program. Use this to recruit kids because every other year they get a chance to play in an ATP event. But I want to be an American, and I want to be a local kid, preferably. And so we've been fortunate with that, and Chris Eubanks gets that opportunity. Last year, Chris got in because we run a local wild card tournament, a separate opportunity. Right. And that actually started yesterday and today, and we played at some public facilities around town. But Chris couldn't ask for a better ambassador and representative for the city of Atlanta from Westlake High School, now Georgia Tech. He epitomizes that student athlete. He could turn pro. Right. But he wants to come back for his senior year because he wants to break all those Georgia Tech records.
Right.
And so I hope that he has a great time here at the BB&T Atlanta Open, and we hope that he has a great professional career.
For kids starting out in tennis, what's about the average age where parents should put that racket in the kid's hand if they have these kind of aspirations?
Yeah. So there's been a myth that tennis is, in years past, is kind of a country club sport.
Nah.
But it's really not. There's so many public facilities in Metro Atlanta that you can play for really less money than it probably takes to sign up and play football by the time you need pads and everything else and coaching. And, you can go down the street to Piedmont Park or Bitsy Grant Tennis Center. And now You can start tennis at 3, 4, 5 years old because they got smaller nets, softer balls, smaller rackets, and then you can progress to the bigger court, just like starting out on, T-ball or, YMCA basketball with the shorter, basketball hoops. And so there's an opportunity to really get started. And all the local public facilities have that in place encourage any of your audience to send their kids to a local public facility and get a racket in their hand.
Let's go. Man. Hey, man, we come back, man. We're going to talk some more with Eddie. Talk about the event. Talk about the Bryan brothers coming back, the doubles.
Let's do it.
Hey, man, stay with us. It's The Crush.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to say.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Great leaders aren't born. They're made, and not just anywhere. They're made in special places by special qualified trainers in places like the Academy of Creative Coaching. The Academy of Creative Coaching is an international certification program with courses in health and wellness coaching, spiritual coaching, relationship coaching, executive coaching, life coaching, and cultural competency coaching. Courses are online, hybrid, or face-to-face. The Academy of Creative Coaching is empowering coaches to empower the world. Make a positive change in yourself and the world. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com.
Hey Crush fans, I'm Taisha Fernandez. You're listening to The Crush on Sensation Station Network.
Hey, we're back. We're doing our Crush interview right now with Eddie Gonzalez of the BB&T Atlanta Open. So Eddie, you went to North Carolina State.
Go Wolfpack.
Go Wolfpack, when did you fall in love with the game of tennis?
I fell in love with the game at 14, and I started playing tennis at 11 and played all the sports. Right. The one thing that really made me fall in love with tennis was getting all the credit and all the blame. So I didn't want to have to blame, my third baseman for a ball going through the legs, but I wanted to be that guy that came up to bat with the game on the line. Right, that's what I love about tennis. It's such an individual sport, and you learn a lot about life, because life is, you got to figure stuff out, and when you're in between the lines playing tennis, it's mano a mano, and you got to problem solve quick when things aren't going your way.
Now, let's say this is such a great event, and the purse, like I say, the money is there. So that breeds a lot of the competition that we have going on. With all the sponsors that you guys have, do you see the purse continuing to climb? Because like I say, from last year, it wasn't this purse. It went up a little bit more.
It did, yeah, and that helps attract the players. Mm-hmm. Sure, we'd love to get the purse bigger, but we have the ability to provide what we'll call appearance fees. So those are some financial incentives to get some of the top guys or girls here, and by doing that, then we can use them in all of our marketing. So like for instance, Venus, we were able to lock her in March, and we've been able to promote that now for the last 4 months. And so, but yeah, we'd love to be able to grow the purse, and if we do that, we're going to need a bigger stadium. Right. And because we get a bigger stadium, that's how we can maybe bring a Federer or Nadal or somebody here at some point down the road.
Yeah, but you are bringing the Bryan brothers, who are
that's a big name.
Double team, they get a double tennis guide, so they've been winning all over the place.
They've won more majors in the history of any other doubles team, and they're identical twins.
They are identical twins. Bringing them in the doubles matches what does that mean for the BB&T Open?
Most professional tennis tournaments, doubles is an afterthought.
Right.
And here, because doubles is such a big part of the Atlanta community with ALTA and USTA, the last time they were here in 2015, they helped us sell out 3 different sessions. Wow. Because, they're entertaining, they're great players, and they won the tournament in 15. And, I told them, and until they won our tournament, they couldn't be considered the greatest team of all time. But now, since they won it in 15, and they couldn't come back last year because their Olympics commitment. So they had committed to go represent the U.S. and go to Rio, and we understand and respect that, just as Jack Sock, who's now the highest-ranked American, went, but he's coming here as well. But Bryan brothers are a fan favorite. One thing that we're also doing with them is that their passion outside of tennis is music. And so they have the Bryan Brothers Band, and they play covers, and they are going to be our Wednesday night post-match concert. Wow. So we got the Bryan Brothers.
They got double duty out here.
Yeah. So they're going to play their first-round doubles match on Tuesday night after Chris Eubanks plays his college night match, because the Bryan brothers went to Stanford, so they played college tennis. We thought that was a good fit for college night. And then Wednesday night they'll do their band concert. So looking forward to that with them.
They're going to be working every day of the week now.
Hey, we got to get everything we need to get out of y'all.
Man.
Now, I was a big fan of the gift shop. Just tell everybody, just all the great stuff that you guys have, from T-shirts to tell everybody about all the goods that you got inside.
Well, you can't leave without a T-shirt, and a cap, and a towel.
Right.
So
and the big tennis ball.
Exactly, and that big tennis ball we do very well with, because that's where one, it's kind of a showstopper, and then, so many of the fans like to buy it and then use it to get all the autographs during the week. And all of our players are so accessible, not only at the tennis, but you'll see them at the Kilwins or the Witch or in the hotel or at the Yard House, because everything's right there.
Yeah, you catch them on the golf carts too.
Exactly.
Coming and going. Yeah.
Nick was so funny. When I saw him in Miami, we were talking about that earlier. He said, "Tell me the name of that ice cream place again there." And so he was hanging out after every match at Kilwins with the ball kids. And so, yeah, the jumbo balls. And one thing that's new this year for us is that our clothing, our performance apparel partner is Mizuno. And Mizuno historically has not been in tennis in the U.S. In other parts of the world, they are. But Mizuno's U.S. headquarters right here in Atlanta, and a lot of people don't realize that.
I didn't know that.
And so we're partnered with Mizuno partly to help get that story told, that Mizuno is headquartered right here, from their golf and their baseball and their track and field, all the running, all that's right here. And so we're helping them get into the tennis business in the Atlanta market, which is the #1 tennis market in the U.S.
That's awesome. So is Kyrgios considered the favorite this year? I know you said that you got, I think when you said Tom, right?
Jack Sock.
Yeah. He's ranked 18th in the world.
Right.
So is he considered a favorite, or is Kyrgios the defending champion?
Based on the rankings at the moment, Jack Sock would be our #1 seed. He's 18 in the world. Nick Kyrgios is 19 in the world. He'd be 2. John Isner's 21 in the world, and he would be 3. And then there's a fellow from Luxembourg, Gilles Mueller, who, unless you're a tennis fan, you probably don't know who he is, but he's won 3 tournaments this year already, so he's ranked 25th. He'd be 4. But going into it, I agree. I think Nick Kyrgios, he won it last year. He was so comfortable here. He's a hard-court player. So I think he and John Isner are probably on track maybe for a rematch.
Hey, so I just want to say this. We appreciate you coming on so much, Eddie.
Thanks for having me, man.
I
This
can't
was
wait.
fun.
We can't wait to be there
fun.
to cover. Just let everybody know again the dates and times. And times all day, but what dates?
So we're July 22nd through the 30th, and we strategically play our key matches in the evening to address that heat. And Tickets are on sale at bbtatlantaopen.com. So come on down. Our tagline this year is Be There. So you guys be there.
Yeah. I'm telling y'all, when y'all sit there, the view of Atlanta is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
again, Eddie, we appreciate it. We're glad we were able to get this
Thank you.
together, man, and to come in, and we will be there this year.
Hope you guys have me back sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, when we come back, man, we're going Terrence Thomas? Terrence. We're going to talk to him.
Hey, man, Dortch.
It's a Sensation Station Wealth Nation collaboration celebrating 7 years going hard in always radio.com. The Go Hard, Go Home Summer Series returns and kicks off at Red Martini Lounge July 6th with multi-platinum selling artist Silk the Shocker. Silk the Shocker performing all hits with the celebrity red carpet brought to you by The Hype Magazine. It's no limit forever. The Hype Magazine, Wealth Nation, and Sensation Station Network celebrating 7 years goes hard July 6th at Red Martini Lounge. Tickets only $10. Get more info at ssnatl.com.
I know you got a man and all.
When it comes to saving money, don't act like a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Be the boss and make a budget.
I'm the boss, baby.
You're not the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Need a little help?
Aren't you going to do any work?
I'm very busy delegating.
Create a personalized savings plan.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
And get other tools and tips at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Hey, man, it's that second crushing interview right now. It's brought to you by Oracy Software. You know what it is. When the customer engage one of us, they engage all of us. Go to Oracy, that's ORASI.com for more information. Maceo, please introduce the sharpest dressed man that's ever walked in this studio.
Listen, nobody will never outdress this guy. Know that. Terrence Dortch, he's the owner of Dortch Williamson Funeral Home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pleasure to be here, man.
Been clean since Collier Heights, baby.
That's right. We go back a long way.
Collier Heights, Doug High, baby.
Collier Heights, Doug High.
We in the building. There it is.
Certified.
There it is.
So, Terrence, let me ask you, man, what's the biggest misconception about funeral business that people need to know, man?
Great question, man. Great question. The biggest misconception is that funeral homes are all about the money. That's the biggest misconception that we have, I think, in funeral service. For me, it's been passion. It comes from the heart. And dealing with, being in the business over 14 years and dealing with families, a lot of times families do come in with the misconception that we're trying to take advantage of them at that point. But funeral service is a business driven by a lot of other businesses, and we have to pay out a lot of other business to go forward to make those things come forward as a funeral or whatever the services may be. So it's not all the time that we're just money driven, but it's just basically the services that are rendered, you know, we deal with a lot of outside business, I think, versus a lot of other business, everything is inside. So that's a lot of things that families don't think about, and I know we know it's an emotional time and what you're dealing with, but that's the biggest misconception, that the funeral home all about the money. But, you know, it's more so about the passion and being a service to, you know, this families in this time of need.
How did you get involved in this? I done known you basically all your life.
Right.
This I didn't see coming for you. How did you get into this?
A lot of people say that, you know, I've been in it 15 years, but just posting on Facebook and other social media outlets, people always have that question. And for me, it started when I was 8 years old, man. My grandmother passed of cancer. And I went over when I was going to Collier Heights, that's whose house I used to go over in the evenings after school. And I just saw, you know, her and saw how she changed. And, you know, being an 8-year-old, you just don't know exactly what's going on, but you know something is going on. And, man, it just stuck in my mind. And the night she passed, my family went to the house. And you know how usually if a person passes in the house, the family has to come and see. You know, your uncle, aunties, everybody want to come over to the house to see for some reason. And I just remember that night seeing her and seeing the funeral home people come in and transition her from the house to the hearse, and it just stuck with me. And when I went to high school, and you know, Mr. Murray. I got to, you know, Mr.
I was going to get to that. Because Mr. Murray used to offer everybody a job in the summer.
Offer everybody a job.
And once he told us what he did, I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Yeah, but I took Mr. Murray class maybe like 2 or 3 times. Like, he was my favorite teacher. And you know, he taught art. But he really taught common sense. He taught life. He taught life. And the fact, man, he used to tell us about, you know, Murray Brothers. Shout out to everybody over there, Murray Brothers. But he used to tell us about the story at the funeral home. And, you know, I'd already had it somewhat inside of me, but he really brought it out. And we would talk after class. And he used to tell me, he said, well, you know, after high school, if you want to come by, you know, and you don't want to see what's going on. But he was a mentor, and he probably didn't even know this, but he really was for me. That was like the spark. And that got my mind moving. I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Very different.
Very different. Very different. Very different.
It is very different. But how do you handle the emotional stress of it? Because I ain't never seen a happy funeral. But I've seen some good homecomings. But how do you handle it from a
homegoings? Ain't no homecoming.
Definitely homegoings.
But how do you feel? But how do you handle it?
It takes a balance. My wife is a funeral director as well, and that helps out because you have to have somebody to talk to. A lot of times people in our business can't talk to their spouse because some of the things that we see, you won't understand. You know, the embalming process, the dressing process. It's just certain things that happen and take place that you couldn't explain to a spouse. But the fact that my wife is a funeral director, it makes life a lot different. You know, we can talk about things, you know, things that happen at the funeral home. You know, she understands. She's been in as long as I have. So for me, having a spouse who understands the business is the best outlet.
We got to talk about this. The GoFundMe aspect of this thing. Tell families today why they need to have insurance for when this event happens.
The most important thing you just said probably all this evening is the insurance conversation. And it's so important, man. You know, I can't stress to the families, and, you know, I've been in the business 15 years. I've probably done over 2,500 funerals easily. And the saddest part is to see someone's mother, father, sister, brother, son, you know, they come in and they don't have the money to do anything. And, you know, it's a lot of times, you know, they feel guilty. They feel a certain type of way. But insurance is the most important thing because it just takes away, you know, the stress at that time. And being in the business long, you know, I've seen families fight in arrangement conferences. I've been to houses where families have gotten to fight. So it's already stressful, you know, number one, it takes place. You know, it's the people calling you now and the people dropping by your house, and then you have to worry about not having any money. You're embarrassed. So it's a big concern, but a lot of families are doing things now. We have pre-need and pre-arrangements that are very important that we stress to families when they come in.
Like one of the worst things, man, to see people fight over money after somebody passed, man.
It is, man. It is.
It is horrible, man. When we come back, man, we're going to jump into this rundown. I'm going to talk to our man Smoke because his tie just too sharp not to talk to him. So stay with us, guys. It's the Crush.
Hey.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
JBT 700 Miami Circle 30324. It's not a chain, it's a chain reaction.
Invest $49 a month at a real gym.
For more info, go to facebook.com/Jeans
Body Tech.
This is big business. This is the American West.
Sensation Station Network.
See ya.
We're going to that Crush Rundown being brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Cricket has something epic for you. Get a free select 4G LTE smartphone like the Samsung Galaxy Amp2 plus a $50 bill credit when you switch. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about. Do you sometimes, Terrence, over 2,500, is it just part of the job now? What is the experience that you want to make sure people get when they come to you to do this homegoing service?
Yeah, when anyone walk through the door, my goal is to always treat them as a family member of mine. I had to bury my father 6 years ago. He was in our establishment, the embalming process, the dressing process. So when anyone walks through the door, I think of them as a family member on my end because I've been on both sides. I've been on the funeral director side, but to bury a parent, and this is the closest person to me that's passed, that opened my eyes to another side. So when people walk through that door, it's always been a passion, but it's a passion with a little bit of something else now. Because, anytime you bury a family member, and being in business as long, when you first get in business, I think of funeral service, you don't think about that you'll be burying your family in time.
Right.
Most time it's like, I'm burying everybody else's family. But when you get that 9 and that 10, that 11th year, it turns into, an uncle may pass, or, your cousin may be killed in a car accident, or some things come up, and you like, now it's starting to get to, my family. Right. And also, too, at this point, I've been dealing with certain families for over 10 years. One person that I may did arrangements with 3 years ago, this person may have passed now, and the fact that you start to know people now. You're dealing with families, and you know these people, and they sit here and told you their life story about their loved one who's passed, and now you're doing their funeral. That's a side that's a little different, being in the business for this long now.
When my grandmother and most recently my grandfather passed, that was really like my first time having to kind of go in and like help the family, the program and everything. I just never realized how much work went into like just forget the funeral right now.
Right.
Just the program, trying to decide the layout. I mean, this is a lot of stuff that you're dealing with, Terrence.
It's a lot, man. And, you know, people always say, like, you make it look easy. But I know it's true, a calling and a passion. So it's not that I make it look easy, but it's just when families walk in, they tell me all the time, a lot of times after the service is gone, they're like, you really made this easy. Like, I've been through this process before, but just the way your personality, you know, the way you pretty much keep everything in order, you know, you lay everything out for it. It's basically just walking through. And, you know, we're dealing with a loved one that's passed.
Right,
But that's what's important, the process. And that's what we do. Anyone who walks through our door, you know, my thing is to take as much pressure and stress off of a family as possible. You know, we have a crematory as well. We're, I would say, out of all the funeral homes that you hear about, we're the only funeral home with an on-site crematory. It's maybe 2 or 3 that have crematories out about 30, and the number may be off a little bit, but I would say at least 30, 35. But we don't know what creme. So we also contract out to other funeral homes for cremation. So if you go to a lot of these funeral homes in the city, you know, the cremations come our way because we have an on-site crematory. So that's another side that we deal with. So, you know, we not only do we deal with the families that, you know, come to the funeral home that we serve, but we also take care of other funeral homes, families who have cremations. That's a big part of the business now. The cremation is probably about 30 to 35% of the business. Just the last weekend, we've had 5 loved ones come through our funeral home since Friday. And out of 5, 3 asked about cremation. So that's pretty much where a lot of funeral service is going, is cremation. But, you know, to be a crematory and a funeral home, it does allow us to service families, you know, a lot of different ways. We're a full-service funeral home. You know, we have a chapel that seats like 300 people, which is kind of uncommon in funeral homes in Atlanta.
Most chapels like 40, 50 people.
Exactly. Maybe 100 at the most. Maybe 100 at the most. We have a repast room that holds about 100 people. So it's very few funeral homes that have a place where families can actually come back after the cemetery, you know, but they go eat that chicken, you know, that chicken and green beans and rice. Yeah, but we had a facility for you to come back and eat those chicken wings and green beans.
They call it funeral food.
Yeah, they call it funeral food. I have people laughing all the time. If I eat another piece of chicken, you know, I might turn into a chicken over 2,500 funerals. But we do, you know, have that flexibility, and that's the good thing. And, you know, having the crematory as well has been a plus for us. And, you know, we're just 3 weeks in, and it's been a dream come true. You know, growing up in College Park and being right there in Riverdale, right off of Old National, and be able to, you know, service families and people that I know has also been a blessing. You know, on the South Side, they call me the funeral home man.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm the bow tie man, funeral home man. But it's good, man, because my whole goal, man, once I was able to, you know, own a funeral home, it's bigger than a funeral home. It's about the community. And anybody look at my Facebook page or know me, you know, I'm always out. You know, I'm about the youth, I'm about the kids. Right. You know, I did 2 things this weekend, and this has been before, you know what I'm saying, we opened our own funeral home. I've been doing this for years. They call me the career day specialist. I stay at a career day. You know what I'm saying? But
sign him up.
Sign me up now. But it's just, man, it's just that, you know, funeral service is a great profession. It's something that people, you know, look up to as pillars in the community, so to speak.
Right.
And there's just so many kids out there that don't know the opportunity. And to own a funeral home, you always don't have to, you know, embalm somebody. You don't have to dress. There's different sides to funeral service. Some people are funeral directors. They just deal with the families, make arrangements, and direct the funerals. But then you have some people who deal with the embalming and the backside, and they don't want to do the actual funeral part. So it's different parts to funeral service. And that's why I try to get out and, you know, put a face into, you know, being young. You know, I'm 38. You know, probably probably the youngest true owner in funeral service in the city. I mean, family members are owners, and their time is coming. But to be a true owner in the business, I'm probably the youngest one. But I think that's a big part of me going out speaking to kids because, you know, with most people think about the funeral home owner, you know, a man in a black suit. Creeping.
That don't look like you.
Right. About 70 years old. But that's the reason why, you know, our colors are purple. You know, we're about royalty, and you know, we usually wear gray and purple on funerals because I wanted to get out the mindset of that black and, you know, the gloomy. And just being in the business, man, I've noticed that people react to me different. You know, even our staff, you know, based on, you know, the colors that we wear. And, you know, they always tell me, like, y'all don't look like funeral home people. Like, y'all professional, y'all nice, but, you know, y'all don't look like the typical funeral home.
That's funny that you said that Because it seems like, it's always black.
It's always black.
Everything
It's
black.
always black. I mean, we have white cars. We had, 2016 Cadillacs, they white. Like I said, we do the purple as our trademark and our brand, and we're just trying to change. And we understand why we're there. We understand that, we have to service families and use the worst time of their lives. But we don't have to look like death. And that's the thing that I'm trying to change in funeral service. I don't want to, people to see me and say, oh, here comes death. Even when I do career days, a lot of times I tell the teachers, I don't even tell them, what I do. I just kind of want to see what they say. And I always ask first questions like, what do y'all think I do? Most of them like lawyer, doctor, banker, teacher. Right. But that's the mindset. When I tell them, they like, wow, we would have never thought that.
Right.
Yeah. And it opens the door for their mindset. Like, they're like, well, that's something that's cool. It's not as bad as what I thought it was.
As I thought, right.
Yeah. Real quick, just want to talk about we got about 30 seconds.
Okay.
When you talk to the kids about this, what are some of the biggest questions you get?
What is embalming? If I do elementary schools, is where's the hearse or the limousine? Kids in high school more so. How much money do you make?
Of course, but
the
first question they ask.
Yeah, the high school students. That's the first question they want to ask.
They got some decisions.
They got some decisions to make. They got decisions to make. And my answer to how much money you make is how much of a passion do you have? If you had a passion, you'll make the money.
We come back, man. I want to talk about somebody's career who may be dead. Vince Young. I want to see Terrence. I know you into these sports too.
Oh yes, sir. Yes,
we're gonna talk about this for a minute, man.
Okay.
So
okay.
Stay with us real quick, guys.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Major key alert. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch. Or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie. But Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to save.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is Robert Hicks, ex-NFL football player and actor with The Blind Side, and you're with The Crush at ssnatl.com, Sensation Station Network.
Hey, we're back. Still here talking in this rundown real quick with our man Terrence. And I want to bring this up in the rundown because talk to it. Hey, so did you see what Vince Young talking about on that, man?
I did.
And he's going around. Terrence, I don't know if you've seen it, but Vince is like, Ryan Fitzpatrick still in the league, and I'm here with a torn knee because of Canadian Football League. Not torn knee, but he tore a hamstring or something.
Right.
Does he have a point that he's looking and there's a guy who leading the league in interceptions, and he's still in the league, second string, not just in the league. He's a second string quarterback, and Vince is at home. I mean, Vince, I don't want to say nothing, but we were talking about death. I was like, death to his career, right?
His career, right.
He can go on and stick the embalming fluid in his career.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
It's done. Here, I'm just talking about death. I was hearing this. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I think Vince had a chance, early in his career. I understand where he's coming from in this point. It's always up to me. It hasn't been a level field, when it comes to quarterbacks and African American quarterback. I mean, it's just what it is. The fact that he had a winning record in Tennessee, at that time, and for him just to be kind of almost like blackball out the league, and then you go to Kaepernick and in San Fran, you look at his stats versus Fitzpatrick. I was looking at about a couple of days ago. It's night and day.
Oh, it's blatant.
It's night and day.
It's blatant.
It's blatant, but. Unfortunately, that's it's the world and the politics and what we live in today. And you just have to kind of almost keep a straight face, which is not always the right thing to do, because I think everybody's open to their opinion. But it's a balance that you have to have at that quarterback position. Really, any other position I think in the sport, that quarterback position, because you're the face.
Yes,
they putting the money into you.
Yes, sir.
And it's got to be a certain way.
I'm actually thinking, man, I hate to say, but he's throwing like everybody. For Fisher,
He threw Fisher under the
Green Bay.
bus.
He's throwing everybody right.
But again, it kind of what Terrence said. I've always told kids, even while I was coaching, playing quarterback is almost like it's like you president.
President.
You're right. It's a term.
It's a different position.
It's a different position.
It's a different because I mean, you tell the kids all the time, you're gonna get too much credit when you win.
Come on now.
You're gonna get too much blame when you lose. But you have to find that middle road as a quarterback. Like a wide receiver can pop off,
right?
Because a lot of people are not gonna be at this locker. Everybody gonna be at the quarterback locker.
Right.
Yeah, because
that comes with the position.
Comes with the position.
Wide receiver, you can say, hey man, we just won't throw that way.
You're a DB.
Yeah.
Folks are like, we ain't really want to hear nothing from him. You always want to hear from the quarterback
Because he's under the center. He's the one that's talking.
He's
all
the
time.
guy.
He's the guy.
I just looked at it, man, and I know it sounds like frustration because you go into Canada thinking, yo, here's my second chance, and you mess up your leg, and now you sitting at home and you happen to look on TV and Ryan Fitzpatrick just signed this contract. He's wearing an NFL jersey and you sitting home. But I don't know if there's a way. He's 34 years old.
Right.
And much as I want him to play, but I hate to say it's over for him. But I guess he's going out, right?
But it's been over.
It's been over, you're right. And you have to understand, with sports, you have to be in the moment, man. And I know it's hard because, the background sometimes these kids come from, the money, the fame. And, it goes fast. I can always remember that USC game with him standing at the end and, you the confetti.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you look at him go to Tennessee and transition. You like, okay. And then as things start to, something happened.
Yeah. Unraveled.
It unraveled.
Yeah.
And, you look now 10 years later, whatever it may be, and you like, he at home watching on TV. But, I mean,
that's what happened, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happened.
Hey, man, we're about to take a quick station identification. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, you'll see what happens. Sensation Station Network.
Hey, we're going back into the second hour of the Crush, brought to you by the Cobb Football League. Registration is now open. The Cobb Football League provides a high school feeder youth football and chip program for kids in K through 5th grade in Cobb County, Paulding County, Marietta City, and Roswell City Schools. Go to cobbfootball.com for more information. So, yeah, Maceo, you got a story, man, that you want to jump in and run down real quick?
Well, I had one story, but it was so funny. I had the Vince Young story.
Yeah, so that was
because and my last take on Vince real quick. He had the world by the, Rick of the Year.
Yep.
Then, like, say 2 years in, he had the episode,
Right.
he had the pistol.
Right.
Quarterbacks can't unravel like that.
Can't unravel.
They just can't unravel like that. But we speaking of death, Carmelo Anthony, he wants a buyout.
Right.
The Knicks are saying, yeah, we want to trade. We don't want to buy you out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we want to be able to say we got something for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo and Phil just need to get together. They just need to take a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Get together, hash it all out. Look, I don't want to be here. You don't want me here. Let's agree to disagree, and let's move on. Because this is terrible.
And Carmelo also know his trade value ain't that great.
Right.
It's not that great.
Because what, he about 20 mil?
24.6 next year on the books.
Contract, Terrence? Who wants to trade for that contract for Carmelo? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, especially being in a point where in his career now. That's a lot of money. And, him and Phil, to me, it should be an easy process about it's politics to everything. Phil is rich. He has the rings. Carmelo's rich without the rings. To me, somebody should be able to say, hey, we going to go here. We going to get you here. And then we keep on going. But Carmelo, man, I just don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to take the right coach at this point in his career, the right team. But, I think he's had his chances, too. He's been on some good teams that could have had a chance.
Yeah.
But it's just something about him. I don't know if he makes everyone always better, around him.
And they're saying one of the biggest hang-ups with Melo, he don't want to go too far away from his son.
Yeah, and Lala said that today, his ex-wife or whatever they are now.
Well, they separated.
Right.
But the crazy part is, okay, so you don't want to go far. That's only Brooklyn.
That's Brooklyn. That's the first thing I thought. That's the only place he can't go.
That's Brooklyn or Philly.
Yeah, he can't. You're going to a bad team if you want to stay near your son.
Right, Melo.
Because the three teams in that area are bad. The Knicks, Brooklyn, and Philly are bad.
Yeah.
Even though Philly got a young squad, but they're still young.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for growth right now.
No.
Wherever he goes, it has to be a winner.
And if LeBron's 31, that means Carmelo like 33.
33?
Yeah. So it's not a spring chicken no more.
Not spring
It
chicken.
ain't gonna be. I mean, most of his shots, he can still shoot. Cause you can't take away a shooter. But he ain't jumping over everybody no more. He ain't gonna be out athletic.
He can score.
Yeah, he can score.
He's a scorer.
And he needs to be in Cleveland,
right?
Or he needs to be in Boston, or he needs to be in Golden State. He needs to be somewhere where you're a ring chaser now.
Right. That's true.
You're a ring chaser now.
That's why he wanted to buy out, so he can say, I can go to a team.
So I can, I got my money.
Right.
So let me go play for Peanuts somewhere else.
Right. Get a meal real quick for somebody, get the minimum, and do what I got to do.
Do what I got to do.
I always just look at Carmelo like, he's 33 now. And what do you play him? Is he a 4? Is he a 3? Is he a 2? I mean, where do you play him? Because he's going to be a liability on the other side of the ball.
Yeah. That's the other thing.
Who he's going to cover?
Right.
I was so wrong about Melo. Looking at Melo win that national championship,
oh, man.
I was like, this dude going to tear the NBA up.
Me too. Yeah. I thought the same.
So we go. We know you ain't going nowhere, but man, just tell people where you spot at and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. We're in Riverdale, off of Old National and 138.
138.
Yes, 138. Riverdale, Georgia. 1410 actually. Highway 138 Southwest. We're in Riverdale, right there on the south side.
Man, I think I know what that is.
The Old National side, not the Tar Boulevard side.
Exactly. It's actually the 130 is the red light before Rick Ross house. So anybody in Atlanta know where Rick Ross live?
Right.
You make that left on the red light.
They used to call it the Holyfield.
Used to call it the Holyfield. Yeah, being raised in South Side is definitely become the Rick Ross house now. You're right.
Hey man, we come back, man. That's what I'm talking about. Stay with us.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win a Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
Former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and He'd guide us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
When it comes to saving money, don't act like a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Be the boss and make a budget.
I'm the boss, baby.
You're not the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Need a little help?
Aren't you gonna do any work?
I'm very busy delegating.
Create a personalized savings plan.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
And get other tools and tips at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Hey, man, we going to That's What I'm Talking About right now. Trying to cue my music. So that's all right. We here. You know, hey, man, this is where we get the good stories in, Tom. You know, we done talked Terrence. I keep calling Tom. I just looked up Tom.
Dortch?
Dortch.
That's because you know his brother.
Hey, but it's like, we talked about death. We talked about vengeance. We trying to get some good stories in there, Maxie. You ready, man?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's get it in there, man. Start it off, Maxie.
That's what I'm talking about. South Carolina State University. They will make 3 appearances on ESPN this fall. Their first game is September 3rd against Southern University. Then they play North Carolina Central September 21st. Then the last one will be October 6th. It's going to be on a Friday night.
That's big,
versus Morgan State. Good to see our HBCUs get this kind of exposure.
Good.
That's what I'm talking about, South Carolina State. Go get that money.
Love to see it. 3 nights with ESPN. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, man.
By no means.
Hey, man, everybody keep talking about this guy, but the guy keeps doing things in the community that makes me begin to like him. You know, he played for a team that I don't like. Jameis Wilson, that's what I'm talking about. He returned home this weekend to help feed the homeless a barbecue dinner for homeless veterans this weekend, as well as he threw a free middle school football clinic as well while he was in the hometown of Tallahassee this weekend. That's what I'm talking about, Jameis Winston, even though you play for the Buccaneers. I'll let that go. But that's what I'm talking about, bro. What you got, Maxie?
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. Russell Westbrook, man. Excellent MVP speech, man.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
I think last night we got to see another side of Russ because it was good to see his dad there.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we've been giving LeVar this hard time, but it's so many good dads out there, man. And to see Russ give it up to his dad and his mom, and to see Brody, as he calls himself, he broke down.
Yeah.
You know, he this was an award he deserved, man.
Yeah.
You know, I just hate the NBA took so long to give it out.
Right.
Yeah. He deserved to hold it up in front of his hometown fans.
What are your thoughts on that, man? The NBA awards.
It was
like it's another money grab. I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
But we're so used to having the MVP get it at home,
host it in front
and
of
hold it up in
fans.
front of his fans.
Yeah, man. I kind of miss that. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but I do miss that because there's nothing like having your hometown screaming your name when you holding up the trophy in front of them.
Nothing like having your hometown, man. And that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the fans. You know, if someone to be able to win the MVP and, you know, not be able to put that thing up in front of their home team, you know, it's a different look.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about, too. Last night, part of the NBA award, they did the Craig Sager Award. And Monty Williams was the first to win it. Had the nice coat on. I like the way they get the colorful coat.
Right.
But if you don't know what happened with Monty Williams, last year he lost his wife in a car accident.
Right.
And to hear the story of Monty, it was a lot of tearjerkers last night because Monty was talking about trying to raise his kids and keeping on and losing his best friend and all that. And to see Monty sit up there and be proud, and, you know, we always a fan of the Sager Awards. I kind of like that. I did like that piece and to see that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, too, the NBA awards and also the money, man. Monty, you've come a long way. I know it's tough. You're raising your kids. You got a family that's behind you, and y'all are strong together. So that's what I'm talking about. What you got, Maceo?
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about to Dr. Jerry Poche and Jimmy Roy. They're 2 LSU dads who saved an 87-year-old Florida fan's life during the College World Series yesterday.
Yeah.
The guy was having chest, you know, he was hard for him to breathe. Wow. These 2 guys, one's a doctor and the other one is a fireman.
Right.
They gave him CPR. They gave him the Heimlich and all that good stuff. The Nebraska Medical Center say, man, the 87-year-old is going to have a full recovery.
That's what I'm
man, they saved the guy's life, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's a lucky guy to be next to a doctor and a fireman.
Right.
Boy, I mean, that's angels right there. I mean, what's the chances
what's
of that?
What's the odds?
Ooh, be next to a doctor and a fireman.
They probably like, instead of asking, is there a doctor in the house? We here.
We here, right.
Move
out the way. Take your time.
Just, you know, okay, yeah.
We got you.
No doubt.
Hey, man, I've been talking about these kids all year because, one, they went to Kell, but down there at UGA. But that's what I'm talking about, Devin and Kendall Williams. They'd be the first siblings to go to a world championship track event since Bob Kersey, and Jacka Joyner Kersey. Let me make sure I got that right. No, it's not Jacka Joyner and Al Joyner, her brother.
Okay, a brother.
The brothers. No, the first one since '87.
Wow.
To have 2 siblings go and represent the United States together. That's awesome, man. You know, those kids are coming in. He keeps saying, Coach, I'm coming, but I got things to do right now. I said, no, go there and win you some world titles.
Come on now.
And go overseas and do what you got to do. And when y'all come back, make sure you come to Atlanta, stop by the studio. So he's going to come by. And just proud of the kid, man. Like I said, when I coached him playing football, I didn't no world-class athlete was there. But, boy, he proved me wrong. I knew he ran track, but I ain't know he did it like this. So
Hey, man, sometimes you find your niche.
Come on now.
You ride with it.
You ride with it.
You right
And
about
probably
that.
a good thing he gave up football.
Yeah. And it's funny, you doing decathlon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You Bruce
Bruce
Jenner
Jenner.
with it.
I was about to say, I was thinking, yeah.
You get on the Wheatie
You
box.
ain't just choose one
Say
sport.
what
You
you
say, I'm
want
gonna do
to.
all. I'm gonna do 10.
Yeah. Say
Wow. We come back, man. I want to talk a little bit more about the NBA guys with y'all. The NBA thing last night, talk about who won and all that. And so we're gonna talk about a little NBA real quick.
All right.
Stay with us, Sister Crush.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch. Or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie. But Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special. Sit down and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to savor.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's a Sensation Station, Wealth Nation collaboration celebrating 7 years going hard in Always Radio Now. The Go Hard, Go Home Summer Series returns and kicks off at Red Martini Lounge July 6th with multi-platinum selling artist Silk the Shocker. Silk the Shocker performing all hits with the celebrity red carpet brought to you by The Hype Magazine. It's no limit forever. The Hype Magazine, Wealth Nation, and Sensation Station Network celebrating 7 years goes hard July 6th at Red Martini Lounge. Tickets only $10. Get more info at ssnatl.com.
I know you got a man and all.
We're back. We're right now about to do a little NBA talk right now. Finishing up the season, and we talked about a little bit, Maceo and Terrence, about do we like the way they do it now with the awards. I kind of do miss where a guy used to be able to hold a trophy up. But it was a TV. I didn't get a chance to watch it last night, but I did catch up with the awards. I did see the interview with Russell Wilson. I did see all of that. So I just want to run through them real quick. But overall, Maceo, did you get to see the whole show?
I went back and watched it today.
What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Pretty good for first year? Or?
It was okay. Kudos to getting Drake.
Okay.
Drake was pretty good. He was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The skits were pretty good. Like I say, to me, it was just a bad time for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the season over, the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Before we go, man, we got a caller, Maceo.
Hey, caller, what's your question on?
Hey, Maceo Glaze, this is Mike. I'm questioning on the show.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike?
Is your guest still in the studio?
Yes,
already good it out?
Yes, sir. Terrence is still here.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I just want to say Murray Brothers gave my mom a real nice send-off. She had a real nice game.
They did a very good job at the service, Mike. Very good job.
They did, man. I got a lot of respect for Murray Brothers Funeral Home. Like I said, Mr. Murray, one of the teachers at Douglas High School, man. He's like a mentor in the sense that he got me looking in the business that way. So I can truly say that they do a great job. So I'm truly sorry for that, but I know that they did a great job taking care of him.
Still there, Mike?
Hey, the number Mike called was 678-613-5857.
Still there, Mike? Nah, he gone.
Yeah, he gone. Yeah, it dropped it.
Hey, so Mike, man, it just, that's one of the things that you always want, man. When you get it, you want somebody to be able to take care of it and
You're right.
make sure it's done correctly.
You're right, man.
Like I say, Mike, always, man, you and Khalid and family, man, always in our prayers, man, and with that. But we were talking about the NBA, man. We're going through these awards. Let me go through them real quick. Russell Westbrook is the MVP this year.
Right.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Should be.
Averaging a triple-double. Jay Harden made a good, tough one, but
He did.
But Russell Westbrook, man.
It was Russ all the way.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant said it's just like they created a play in 2K17 and put him out there. And that's Russell Westbrook right now. To do what he did, man.
Every night.
Every night.
And the fact they hadn't been done in how many years? 30 years?
Since the Big O.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, just for that fact, man, we've had a lot of great basketball players come from Big O to where we are now. But this the only man that can average a triple-double?
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he could do it.
I say it all the time. Jordan didn't even do it. So
Come on now.
Hey.
He did it, and not just did it, but he did it in 42
games.
Yeah, man.
That's half the season he had a triple-double.
Yeah.
Know that.
That's crazy. Rookie of the Year is Malcolm Brogdon out of Milwaukee. It's funny because he was a late-round pick.
Local kid.
Right.
Local kid. Fayette County.
Fayette County in the house, and he went to Virginia, and now he's at Milwaukee. Milwaukee's gonna. I hope they can keep that team together. They got a lot of nice pieces up there.
Lot
and they got Jason Kidd
They got
too.
Jason Kidd experience.
So, I'm looking for them, the Greek Freak and this kid. And you got to get the kid that was highly drafted a few years ago from Illinois, Chicago, but he got hurt this year.
Power forward.
I can't think of his name right now.
Went to Duke.
Yep,
Right.
Did Duke for a year. Did a year. Executive of the Year, of course, Bob Myers, Golden State Warriors. Anybody can get Kevin Durant to come to that team.
I mean,
You can get the guy to come to your team.
I mean, KD kind of had already said he was coming, so I mean, I don't know how much selling he did to get KD to come, but I mean, I get it.
If he came to me, I'm looking like a genius too.
I get it.
Give me my award.
I get it.
Award. Sixth man with Eric Gordon. He was from Houston. It was funny. They had two guys from Houston going for the sixth man of the year, him and Lou.
Okay.
And Andre Iguodala was the third from the Golden State. So Eric Gordon got it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Eric Gordon finally got it together. Clearly, he's not a starter. He's the guy to come off the bench and give you quality make because he definitely can score.
Yeah,
definitely can score.
He puts points.
He puts some points on.
He don't play much defense, but he definitely can score. He definitely a spark.
He ain't getting your number one guy.
Nah.
Most improved went to Gianno Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, the Greek Freak.
The Greek Freak.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year, Mike D'Antoni. Look at him. He was the one that me and Maceo said.
I laughed. Listen,
you out your mind.
I laughed when they told me James Harden moving the point guard. I laughed. I said, "Are you serious?" But it worked.
It worked.
It was a bold move, man.
Very bold.
When I heard that at the beginning of the season, I said, "They really not gonna make it."
Right. You put him in the point. That greedy, non-passing guy go, man.
And it changed everything.
Everything.
Assists went up.
Scoring went up.
I
think they were shooting the most three-pointers for any NBA team.
Right.
I mean, like, wow. What up there?
And what makes James so hard now is he still go to the free throw line a lot.
Yeah.
So he's passing.
I was totally shocked, dude.
He's driving.
I was totally shocked.
Mike D'Antoni is your coach of the year.
Hey, I can't go against that one. That's a good call.
They had a couple of them. We talked about the Craig Sager Award. They had the NBA Cares Award that went to Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
But lifetime achievement to one of my favorite guys of all time, Bill Russell.
What can you say?
And I'm going to say this to Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis said that Colin Kaepernick needs to choose between activism and playing football. But tell it to Bill Russell.
Right.
Who had to do both.
Who, if it wasn't for Bill Russell and some of the other players at that time, Ray Lewis and a lot of these players wouldn't even be here.
Right.
They paved the way.
Yeah.
They paved the way.
So while they was going into hotel rooms being called the N-word, and having to go eat in the back of restaurants, and had to come in different entrances.
Couldn't travel.
Yeah. And played in Boston. Let's be real. Boston wasn't the friendliest place to play.
By no means.
Still not.
Yeah.
But they had to do all that, and for Bill to do that and still do it, I laugh at people like Ray now. Say, Ray, you can't do both. What we're trying to do is you trying to get your TV contract going. Right. You with Fox Sports. Right. You with them, and let's be real. But Bill Russell, you know, I always laugh when they talk about, well, Russell couldn't have played. I mean, Russell, you to go against the tallest guy in Wilt Chamberlain.
And Wilt Chamberlain couldn't be stopped until Bill Russell.
Until he got against Russell.
Yeah.
He was dominating everybody.
Dominating
He was putting 50 on Will Russell.
Will.
Russell will get you 25 boards a game. They care against it. And he got the Lifetime Achievement Award. And just looking at that, Teammate of the Year. How do you even choose this? But they went to Dirt and Whiskey.
I forgot Dirt was still playing.
How you get Teammate of the Year?
Teammate of the Year?
I don't know, man.
That's we had to come back to that one.
Yeah. We're going to research the reasons behind it, man. But,
Google that one.
But I don't know, man. We'll hopefully see. I still miss. I don't know how they do it. I guess now, since if the rating was good, they might not go back to it. I miss you being able to hold your trophy in front of your fans, man.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's about that chick, and that's for the politics.
Always. Yes. We're trying to make that thing go all the way to October next year. We're trying to keep relevant, right? Because the summer league gonna be on point this year.
Oh yes, sir.
With the balls coming to town.
Yep.
I want to talk about that a little bit too. But did y'all see LeVar last night? On WWE. Hey man, we'll come back, man. We gotta talk about this top 10 football. Stay with us.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. I want to be a warm place on a cold day. Be a football. A bike that races around the country. I want to be a bench on a forest trail. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Your health is at stake. Diabetes, gout, high blood pressure, inflammation, and joint pain, even weight loss. It's time to end your battle. The Abundant Life Movement is dedicated to the building of generational health by transforming your water with the power of alkaline to improve hydration and fight against acidic and unhealthy conditions in the body. Here's a testimonial from Linda Rogers Brown and Pamela McMillan.
2011, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had no pain and no symptoms associated with that illness. Is a silent killer. I was introduced to Extreme X2O alkaline water, and within 2 days of drinking it, I was off all my pain medicine, and now we're 6 years strong, no chemo, no radiation, no cancer.
I am a 3-time cancer survivor. I was born with thyroid cancer. By being on the alkaline products allowed me to be able to cope currently with colon cancer. Now I'm able to function and be more mobile within 3 days of being on the product.
Extreme X2O, when the water you're drinking is damaging your health. Extreme X2O. For more info, AbundantLifeMovement.com or call 910-2260.
If you're looking for that ratchet, you're in the wrong place. It's the nation's urban internet station, Sensation Station Network.
Hey, man, we're back. Have to make business decisions sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we're back, man, and we're about to talk about a subject that came up, and NFL for the last few years have been doing a top 100 that the players select the top 100 players in each year. And this year we're going to break down. I want to just talk about the top 10, Maceo and Terrence, and because we've had a lot of, let's just say, posts about this top 10 recently.
Get out y'all feelings, man.
Right. And we'll start with number 10. Then number 10 is the reigning MVP, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan. Last year, Matt was not even in the top 100. Now he's in the top 10.
Enough said right there.
Right.
Enough said.
A lot of people are upset at him saying he's the MVP, but these are the peers, these are the players and what they think about each other.
And listen to the comments the players said.
Yeah.
For Matt, it has to be consistency.
Right.
It wasn't good. Last year, y'all were cussing Matt Ryan out. Yeah. Now he top 10.
Now he top 10. And they said he made a lot of strides, but can he do it again this year? And that's the big thing you got to see about Matt. What's going to happen this year? Another change at coordinator.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? He should have the same offense, should have same Julio, even though Julio hanging out at the BT Award. Right. But we're going to let that go with the Migos. We're going to let that roll. I think if you ask Matt to go from unranked to number 10, that's cool. I think if he has another consistent year, he will move up the chart very high. But always about Matt, what's going to happen the next year?
That's always what it has been and what it has continued to be, man. At that quarterback position goes what we were hitting on earlier. To be, the top 5, and you have to be consistent, man. And the ones who, I don't even know who the top 5, but I can start naming some names. They're probably in there, but that's what it's going to take, that consistency over the years, man. And then he'll move up, but he has to show us something this year.
And these top 9, you're going to hear most of them are consistent.
Right.
Like number 9 is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon is every year. Now, Le'Veon's biggest problem is Le'Veon.
Right.
But once he get on the field between them line, Maceo.
Smoke weed every day.
Once he get on the field, Maceo, he's one of the best out there.
I don't understand his running style, but it's very effective.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how he does that.
You said a lot then.
I don't understand it.
He sits there, you be like,
is he
running?
He skip, he fall, and then next thing you know, he
gone.
15 yards, 10 yards later, he down the field.
And to be a running back in the NFL, man, and how fast the game. I remember Jamal Lewis, when he went to the league, and I said, "What's the deal?" He said, "Man, it's the speed. The speed of the game for LeVar just to sit there like you said, and it's like he in slow motion. And all of a sudden, he gone for 65 yards.
He out. And also, he's a 3-down back.
Right.
You don't have to take him off the field.
Right.
He can catch out the backfield. He can catch down the field, which is important. And in NFL, which is different these days, he's an every down back. Now they have 2 or 3 running backs now.
That's true.
It's just like in Atlanta, we have 2 backs.
Yeah.
So
Marlon say he patient twinkle toes. That's what he call Le'Veon.
That's a good way of putting it.
That is.
Very patient.
That's a good way.
And I be thinking, ain't nobody from the backside going to hit him or nothing. He just sits there.
He just sits there. Takes off.
Number 8 was OBJ. Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah. I can tell you right now, you always want to ask where swag come from. Maceo being around his daddy, we understand where it came from. Because Beckham Sr. might have more than Jr.
Right.
Odell Beckham Sr. is that dude.
Yeah.
So Beckham Jr., he is a threat. He is a big-time threat. It's a lot of, as a receiver. And biggest thing about Odell is, will he be able to control his head?
Mm-hmm.
This next contract gonna be stupid.
He's gonna get paid.
He about to get paid.
And the Giants are looking at their checkbook like, we gotta
pay him. Gotta pay him.
What we gonna do? We can't do it. The number 7, I'm sure Maceo likes this, and this is why a lot of people get angry at. Ezekiel Elliott. He's number 7.
He led the league in rushing.
That's why people are like, Ezekiel before Matt. That's where everybody get the anger come from.
He beat everybody by 300 plus yards.
Ezekiel,
Stop.
He is according to Stacey Elliott, who is the father of Ezekiel, he's getting better.
Wow.
Yeah, he said he done got bigger and stronger.
Wow.
He's working out now. He's actually in the gym more.
Yeah.
Now, so. And with that offensive line sitting there, that ain't a bad thing to be.
That ain't a bad thing to be. He'll be a beast next year. Then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Number 6 is the one-man gang, Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay.
Yeah.
Would you take Aaron Rodgers? Would you take Matt Ryan over Aaron Rodgers? Enough said. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Due to my fan card being very on edge right now, I better keep it moving on to the next one.
We're going to keep it moving on now.
Number 5, Khalil Mack, Oakland Raiders.
Beast.
One of the best out there.
Yeah.
I love Khalil. He plays the end, but he plays in more of a 3-4, so he plays the outside linebacker.
Right.
He comes out the edge. He can play run, pass. He's just that dude.
Just that dude.
I wanted him. I ain't gonna lie. When he was drafted, but the Raiders jumped and got him. I did want Khalil Mack because I knew what he was going to be able to bring, and he's been a force ever since. Number 4, Antonio Brown, receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's funny.
6th-round draft pick.
This top 10 has 4 receivers in it.
Tell you what the game going.
You're right.
It's a passing league.
It's a passing league.
It's a passing league. And he's at number 4. Antonio is to be 5'10".
He makes it happen.
And
he makes
dominate.
It happen. And dominate. I just think sometimes in the playoffs he comes up a little short. But
I think that's more Ben.
You think it's more Ben?
I think it's more Ben.
Well, you know, but Ben is proven though.
Yeah, Ben.
But
Ben make them crazy mistakes, because Ben think he can make every play.
Yeah.
He does.
And he gets the team in trouble when he does that.
I think sometimes Ben, I wish he would just, I'm not a Steelers fan, but sometimes just get down.
Right.
He'll try to extend the play, and next thing you know,
Well, listen, that's what I love about Bathroom Ben. Keep it up, Bathroom. Keep it up, Bathroom Ben.
And number 3 is Julio. And the reason why, and as players said, Julio is consistent.
He is.
Every year he walks on, that's the baddest man on receiving the game right
Well, he did in the Super Bowl. Was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
And they were doubling him.
That catch he made.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Stupid.
Crazy.
Still giving love to this guy because he's still a beast on that edge. Von Miller is number 2.
Yeah.
He still's coming. He's hard to block. And the guy that's got 5 on it.
The GOAT, baby.
He's sitting there with the rings, and that video of him and the guy had his little 1 ring on and Grady slid up in there with it.
Yeah.
We'll throw these 5 on you right here. Tom Brady is number 1. Your thoughts on the top 10, Maceo?
I mean, it was fair. I mean, the players vote on this. That's what first and foremost get people to understand.
Right.
The players vote on this.
J.J. Watt, oh man. But the reason they vote like this is projection on who would do what in this year.
Yeah.
So going into the 2017
Gotcha.
season,
That makes more
who's the
sense.
top 100 players to look
Right.
out for?
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, JJ was chilling last year.
And again, look at the comments that the players made about when they were talking about the guys.
Right.
And I mean, like I say, when you look at this list, and now I felt like Matt Ryan was gonna probably be 10 because of with the guys who were left, they're stars.
Right.
They have commercial appeal. Right. Matt just came on the scene this year.
I think Matt does have to have another good year. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of curses behind a team that loses in the Super Bowl. They usually have a bad season this year.
You're right.
So I can't wait to see this year. I mean, I'm excited. You still got the same offensive line. You still got your receivers. You still got your running backs. You still got everything. You're going to have a new stadium to play in. You got everything.
You got everything.
But everybody keeps talking about this Super Bowl. It's going to be something to be said about this Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even like the Gatorade commercial that dropped today.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to see it, but I got to go see it. I heard it.
It's dope.
It's funny.
It's dope. But this is Matt not evolving.
Yeah.
You know, this is first commercial.
And this is what we want to see from Matt. We want to see Matt not be the, we're just going to play a good game this week. Oh, man, have fun with this thing, man. Be a little cocky when you walk on the field. You know what I'm saying?
He's a fiery guy. He just doesn't show it.
Yeah, he just, I want to see it just when you step on the field because we'll see it back to back. And I know Sarkisian, we got to make sure ain't nobody. We see Beers going to the press conference. We need to run behind and stop. Make sure, but it's going to be
Marlon, Nate, stop. Please stop right now. We will beat the Cowboys this year. Boy, stop. November 12th, we're going to call in the mouth.
Yeah, man.
But like I say, when they had to break down the last 3 quarterbacks that were left, you just process of elimination. You knew Matt wasn't going to be above Aaron or Tom Brady.
By no means. Right.
It just wasn't going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Hey, get y'all real quick, top 16. I do see right here in front of me, Derek Carr is number 11. You can't say what he meant to Oakland.
Broke his leg. They were done.
Yeah. David Johnson, the running back from Arizona, awesome year last year.
Gonna be a dog.
Eric Berry, shout out to our homeboy. He's back.
E-Beezy. Now, E-Beezy should have been in the top 10. Let's bump Matt Ryan out of there and then put E-Beezy in there.
Well, he came back home. Yeah.
Yes.
Dak Prescott is number 14.
Dak.
Aaron Donald, the big lineman from Los Angeles.
He should have been higher.
Is 15.
He should have been higher.
And Drew Brees is 16.
Aaron Donald should have been in the top 10, too.
Drew still hanging in there.
Yeah, he's still hanging in. When we come back, man, it's time for me to piss off Maceo.
This is gonna be good, y'all.
Stay with us. It's Chris.
You use Tearless baby shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Leaders aren't born. They're made, and not just anywhere. They're made in special places by special qualified trainers in places like the Academy of Creative Coaching. The Academy of Creative Coaching is an international certification program with courses in health and wellness coaching, spiritual coaching, relationship coaching, executive coaching, life coaching, and cultural competency coaching. Courses are online, hybrid, or face-to-face. The Academy of Creative Coaching is empowering coaches to empower the world. Make a positive change in yourself and the world. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to save.
JBT, 700 Miami Circle, 30324. It's not a chain, it's a chain reaction. Invest $49 a month at a real gym. For more info, go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech.
Hey guys, it's your girl Brenna B. I want to tell you about something pretty amazing. My friends over at Buckhead Laser Lipo have an option for you. You want to lose those inches? You want to get in shape? Spring is here. Summer is upon us. We have a way for you to lose those inches quickly. Immediately see results. $99 is your first treatment. No surgery, no pain, no downtime, just inch loss. Who doesn't want to be in shape for the summer? Buckhead Laser Lipo, 678-871-0097.
BuckheadLaserLipo.com.
And so a new American industry has been born.
Sensation Station Network.
We're back, and so I wanted to not end the show, but a segment I want to throw in there real quick. Basically, do you know, have you ever heard of Gil Brandt from NFL.com?
Yes, man. I read that guy sometime.
Well, today he put out his top receivers of all time.
Okay.
And I want to talk about his top team.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If Jerry Rice not number one, I don't want to talk about this list.
I feel you. Man, please give me his list. At number 10, he puts Raymond Berry, from 1955 to 67, Baltimore Colts.
Okay. They didn't really throw the ball, but okay.
Number 9 is Chris Carter. Is his number 9 receiver. He has, at number 8, Calvin Johnson over Chris Carter.
Southside.
At number 7, he has Larry Fitzgerald. At number 6, he had Bullet Bob Hayes from the Cowboys back in the 70s.
FAMU. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At number 5, he has Marvin Harrison. At number 4, T.O. At number 3, Randy Moss. At number 2, this is how you know how old Gil Brandt really is, Don Hudson.
Ooh.
From the 35 to 45 Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
And make sure, yes, you can rest. Number 1, Jerry Rice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So your thoughts on that list from what I've just said?
Well, he threw in some guys that played when my daddy was, Raymond Berry. He caught passes from Johnny Unitas, who was my dad's favorite quarterback.
Right.
That was my dad's favorite quarterback of all time. Chris Carter. He got Calvin Johnson ahead of Chris Carter.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That's blasphemous. And he got Marvin Harrison over Chris Carter.
He got Marvin Harris over Bullet Bob Hayes. He's number 5 in his list. Chris Carter's number 9 on his list.
Chris Carter should be higher. Chris Carter should be higher.
I know you're a Carter fan,
Yeah.
but that's why.
Yeah.
But that Harrison, though, in his time,
Harrison was
like, when you say his name, like, you can't say no, but you can't say yes. He kind of that guy that just did what he was supposed to do.
Caught a lot of balls.
Caught a lot of balls.
Very, very quiet.
Very quiet.
Very quiet. But he's not better than Chris Carter. Not better than Chris Carter. When they throw you the ball every down in a pass-happy offense, I mean,
some names that I was surprised. He threw some. He had Torrey Holt at number 32. That was his. He only did up to 32. He had the Swan and Starworth at 31 and 30. And then you go into some other names.
Lynn Swan shouldn't even be on the list. Lynn Swan. Listen, everybody.
I want you to be here. You go.
Listen,
Here you go.
all Lynn Swan did was make acrobatic catches.
That was a good acrobatic catch.
Listen, man, Lynn Swan was not, man. He wasn't even the best receiver on his team. Starworth was better than Lynn Swan.
He got Lance Allworth at number 12.
Lance Allworth had the most expensive throwback jersey in these streets.
Paul Warfield was number 11. He was right out the top 10. I just thought it was interesting, man, to look at it. He threw a few names. Chris, I thought should be a little bit higher.
He had Michael Irvin nowhere on the list.
He did. Irvin's pretty far down the list, though.
Irvin
is number 21.
Wow.
Okay. I get it.
But let me ask you this. Okay, he got Rod Smith at 20, though. Would you say Rod over Irvin?
No. Denver Bronco Rod Smith?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let me look at the yards.
That Michael Irvin was a beast, though.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Rod Smith only had maybe a couple of good years.
Yeah. He played, Rod Smith played 12 years. Irvin's numbers are better. I don't know why he picked that.
Right.
Yeah.
He probably, Michael Irvin probably didn't speak to him somewhere.
Right.
Mike would probably stun on him. Because Gil Brandt he's a jerk.
Now, Gil does have a lot of old school. He got Tim Brown as 13.
I like Tim Brown.
Tim was just multifaceted.
Yeah, he
like Tim Brown. Tim Brown had that one open field move. He just shake the shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, his shoulder pad always looked too big.
Tim Brown shoulder pads were extremely too big.
For a receiver, like he couldn't get around. I don't know how he got around.
Right.
But he did. But
that's why you hit him on that Tecmo Bowl. He be out. I had to go there. That Tecmo Bowl with Tim Brown, he be out.
That is true. When
Yeah.
you play Tim Brown, he be laid out.
Out.
But you ain't had to use him, though.
Oh, you're right.
You just put Bo and Malchus and run them 2 plays. You good
You
for
good?
the day.
Right. That's it. Rod Smith was a product of John Elway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was Shannon Sharp offense.
I think one of the guys that I feel, because he probably doesn't have a ring, but Larry Fitzgerald is one of the greatest, in my opinion.
Fitz will go down when it's all said and done. Yeah, Fitz will go down.
Because he's just
beast.
It's ridiculous with him.
Can't be
man.
stopped.
I mean, he's not. Who was the best quarterback he had? And please don't tell me the guy that
Probably Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner that everybody gonna keep saying, but Kurt was at the tail end of his career.
Yeah, he done play with some bombs.
Yeah, and still to put up the numbers he put up.
That's true.
It's pretty awesome with Larry Fitzgerald. I just think
But-
he doesn't have a ring.
But see, he's one of those guys, again, when his career's over, you'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cook.
I mean, you can't even name. I mean, Carson Palmer's not good now.
No.
I mean, he done played with some bombs now.
Yeah.
I keep looking at his quarterback like for him to put up the numbers.
And he's had great numbers.
Yeah.
Great numbers.
Yeah.
But Randy Moss, the question and debate always go between T.O. and Randy Moss. I would always go Moss over T.O.
No, T.O.'s a better receiver than Moss.
See, there we go.
Because he was a more complete receiver than Moss.
Yeah, but
He was a more complete receiver, but them early years when Moss came out there, Moss was a beast, man. Moss, the whole secondary could be on there. He still would get it some kind
Moss is the greatest deep threat to ever play the game.
Yeah.
But that's all he was. He was a post. He was a 7, 8, 9 route guy.
I mean, their numbers.
T.O. ran the whole tree.
Their numbers are so close to. I mean,
yeah.
Moss got 3 more touchdowns.
Right. They're like,
separated by. It's like yards.
Yeah.
It's not even a lot of yards.
You're right. I've been asked if I had to do T.O. and Moss. I definitely do T.O. though.
Yeah.
But their careers.
They close.
They are real close.
They close.
Hey, we'll come back, man. We're going to wrap this show up, man. Stay with us, Sister Crush.
And see, you got.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
You know you're listening to the dopest show on the airwaves, right?
You're my boy!
It's the Crush.
On SSNATL.com.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, man, we're going to this Crush recap brought to you by
Blunt Power.
Blunt Power 3 sprays last for days. You can find out more about
Blunt Power.
Going to their website, bluntpower.com, or going to their Facebook or Twitter page at Blunt Power. Yeah, man, we kind of reminisced during the break about that Minnesota team back there with Chris, and you had Randy, and I can forget the guy in the backfield.
Rod Smith.
Yep. Yeah.
Robert Smith. They had Jake Reed.
And he was a slot. And then you had Randall Cunningham up under the center, and they right there. It was like one of those. We went in there like Muhammad Ali going against Jordan Foreman. Like, hey, man,
that's true.
We got to slow this thing down.
That was a heavyweight fight.
We said we got to slow this thing down.
And the fact that Cunningham had redone his whole game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was actually throwing that thing back.
He was letting it go.
He was letting it go.
But that's when I knew how fast Randy Moss was. Because he still couldn't outthrow Randy Moss.
You right.
As bad as strong as Cunningham was, Moss still
he had to wait on the ball.
He had to slow down every time.
But that game that night, the Falcons ran the second half. Jamal Anderson
ran the crap out of
he grinded their defense down.
Yeah.
Kept the offense on the sideline. And that's how they won the game.
I was looking at that game like, man, we going to Minnesota.
Right.
And
tough.
And we walked out of that, boy. I was like, run. Before they changed their mind. Get them out of there.
Terrence Mathis, Tony Martin had a big game that night.
Yeah. Terrence Mathis, you said a lot.
Yeah, he had Tony Martin played big that game.
You know what? We might not have won, but I think about some of the Falcons. Some things we won, like we went up to Green Bay that year with Mike Vick, boy.
Yep.
In the snow, and they twisted his helmet. He adjusted his helmet and playing like he did, man. It's you know.
They'll tease you a lot.
Yeah, they do. They made me cry.
Yeah, they'll tease y'all a lot. That one.
But they really teased me last year. Last year, Terrence, me and Maceo in this spot, we sitting there. I said, Maceo, we gonna meet at Ramada.
Yeah, we're gonna meet at High Tile Station.
I'm gonna meet at High Tile.
I was gonna be doing all the work while he celebrates the parade.
Bring both the joysticks. I'm gonna be trying to find me a spot and get myself.
But I did tell him it is Tom Brady over there now.
So I started looking at the clock. Say 28-16. Was that 2 touchdowns?
Then he started doing the math.
Started calculating. Like,
then he gonna ask me, Tom, they can't come back, can I? Was like, I was running around the building. Y'all know it ain't over. 2 people, it's over. I'm like, do y'all not know that's Tom Brady over there? And watching the videos, that's what everybody say. Hey man, that's Tom Brady over there.
Tom Brady,
when what's the guy named the receiver? He said, "You do know they got Tom Brady over there."
Yeah, Tyler Gabriel.
Tyler Gabriel said, "Oh, this up. Oh, they got Tom."
That's a salute right there, man. That's over.
It's over. Yeah.
Gabriel said, "Yeah, they got Tom Brady."
Got Tom Brady.
I saw that. I was like, yeah.
But when Brady threw that pick six, that's when I was like, you know what? Boy, that might have broke Brady right there.
I thought it was over with. When he threw that pick six, I knew it was over with.
I say that might have broke Brady right
and
there.
they was going to halftime, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I went from that until when Edwin made that catch off the dude's foot, I was like, oh, crap. Here we go with this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Just snowball.
That was just, when I saw that, I was like, here we go with this crap.
But see, that was reminiscent. See, that's how I felt the 49er Cowboy game to catch.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I can, like, say, when that special came out, I can remember sitting in my mom and dad living room, and we just sitting there like, my dad like, man, we gonna find a way to pull it out.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, it brought up all my hate for Danny White all over again. Danny White, you
Danny White don't walk in these streets.
If I ever see Danny White out here in these streets somewhere, man, I might swing on Danny White.
I saw him doing an infomercial the other day.
Danny White making money out here.
He's still around.
Danny got some money in his pocket.
All because he was a Cowboy quarterback. He wasn't a good Cowboy quarterback, and that you suck.
Was a punter at one time.
He played all 4 downs.
Yeah. He's the punt and everything.
Yeah, once you put that star, you a quarterback for the Cowboys. That's one thing. The brand.
That's it.
You go eat. You go eat.
Zeke Elliott riding on his 4th round pick. Now he in private jets.
Yeah, man, leave Dak alone, man. Leave Dak
I call
alone,
him
man.
Zeke. I mean, it's Dak.
Yeah, leave Dak alone, man. And that's why Dak's so high on that list, everybody. Dak he's a Dallas Cowboy quarterback, man.
All right, whatever, man.
Yeah, I mean,
November 12th. Man.
Listen, look what it did for Tony Romo. Tony Romo good out here in these streets.
Yeah,
He got
he real good.
He got a job.
He real good.
Undrafted.
Tony Romo around here. Then
he was dating singers and he going to Cabo.
You can always see who don't. He put him in his little seat up there. That's my seat. By Jerry.
So let me ask you this: you like this when Quincy Carter was there too?
Yeah, man. Listen, I got
listen.
Okay. Quincy, Mike.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
When we drafted Quincy, I was so happy. I was like, man, what?
Right.
The homeboy?
The homeboy.
Oh, then the homeboy let me down, man. Homeboy had some moments though.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did, but Quincy was his own worst at some point.
In the Meadowlands that night, him and Antonio Bryant hooked up. Hey man, Quincy had some times as the Cowboy quarterback.
Quincy had his own problem.
Romo is not coming back for week 12. Romo will never wear a Cowboy jersey again.
Never.
Until we retire. We put him in the ring on him.
There you go.
Other than that, no. That's all Dak, baby. All Dak.
Well, Thomas, man, I said I did it again.
That's all good, man.
Terrence.
Listen,
Dortch boys.
Listen, he had to deal with that a long time.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. I came out, Kaya Heights, Douglas, everybody called me Thomas.
And it's funny, man. When I was rocking, I was like, why I keep calling that? I know his name, Terrence, but T is, yeah.
We TD.
All on TD.
TD, man.
Right. It was all good. All good. But
hey, man, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all before I leave, man. I want to give y'all something, man. You know, my old man said, you don't never go nowhere don't take anything. So, give y'all a shirt, man. It's cool to wear for me to wear a funeral home shirt, so don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
Oh, no doubt. I'm rocking this because this from my homeboy.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a V-neck.
Yes, sir. And yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the opportunity, brother.
I'm rocking it. I'm doing me about 20 push-ups while I put it on.
Hey, man, go on and do what you do. Yeah.
Now, when he gets through it, the sleeve might be cut up.
Nah, I ain't gonna cut sleeves off this one here.
You gonna let it wrap around?
Nah, yeah.
But no, I appreciate y'all, man, for letting me come out.
Man, appreciate you,
George
man.
Williamson, baby.
Hey, next time you come, we're gonna have to wear suits though.
Okay, next time. I got you.
I ain't gonna tie my bow tie though. I'm just like wear it around my neck. Only because I can't tie it.
You could be at the end of the telethon looking like.
I be trying that YouTube tutorial.
No. It took me a minute, but you can't do the YouTube. The YouTube tutorial, I don't know what happened. See, like when you get to that part, you pull it in.
Right.
Never can get it. Never get it. It's a lot of practice, boy.
How long did it take you to learn how to time?
Man, it took me probably about 2 or 3 months, real talk. Cause I was doing the tutorial going on YouTube, and I could never finish it. But you know, after a lot of work, you know.
So what you do with all your regular ties?
You know what? I just told my wife the other day I need to sell them. I have probably about 100 regular ties sitting.
I know you did.
Yeah, I do. And then we started the funeral home. You know, that's our motto, where the bow tie means service.
Right.
So it's no more regular ties.
No more regular ties.
Can't do it now.
Can't do it now.
Let me ask you this though, man. So when you pick out a suit, do you just you just pick one? Is it the occasion? Do you even have?
It's the funny thing, man. I went to mortuary school real quick, man. I remember being in mortuary school, being, you know, new green to everything that was going on. I had some polo khakis. You know, I'm from College Park, so you had some polo khakis and polo shirt.
You clean.
You clean. I can go anywhere.
Yeah, right.
I walked up in that man. Everybody was in there with suits on. I said, "Ooh, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place." But quick, man. Yeah, I probably got about 40, 50 suits now. You know, yeah, you know, it's crazy now.
No,
but
I got 2.
Yeah, I got a tough 5.
Hey, long as you change the tie and the shirt, that's all that matters.
Now, I got about 8 ties.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Tie and shirt, that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
Wow. Hey, thank you for coming on, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to Eddie Gonzalez from the BB&T Atlanta.
Yes, sir, man.
Good guy. Yeah,
Get out there and go see this tournament, y'all.
I promise y'all, it's one of the best things going in Atlanta, so enjoy it.
And y'all say it ain't nothing to do in the A.
Come on, July 22nd through the 30th. We got your whole July taken care of, man. Thank you, Prime. Thank you, Mace.
Yes, sir.
We back again tomorrow. So same bat time, same bat channel. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Crush.